Now what we got here, we're gonna do a little cooking with Brad, but first of all, we're gonna put the wolf in the pictures. Ain't that right, Carney? So I'm not a wolf. All right, so we're gonna do a little beef stew. So I picked up some Angus beef for braising, and we're gonna braise that. We're gonna put it in a pan, get some brown on it, and then we'll stick it on a crock pot. But here's what we're gonna put in it. We're gonna put in a whole jar of this roasted bell pepper strips. I've got 3 cans of Campbell's vegetable beef soup. I don't know if I'm going to use 2 cans or 3 cans, but we got them. And also I'm thinking I bought some yellow rice. I might just throw that pack in there as well, let it all boil up in there with the vegetable soup and everything. And we're going to put it in a crock pot, so that should be good and tasty once it hits dinner time. Okay, so to start, we're gonna add some olive oil to the pan over here, which I've already put a little bit in there. We'll put this on here. I'll put the heat on about medium-high heat. And set it over here on the grill or on the stove. And then we're gonna start seasoning the meat. Salt and pepper is always the best thing, but we'll put the pepper on. And what I like to also do is to put a little meat tenderizer on there. I already put it on this side a little bit. And we'll go ahead and put some onion powder. And some garlic powder. Get this open here. Doing with one hand. Oh, garlic powder. Put that on this side of the pan. Get the pepper. We already did the pepper. We're going to go with a little bit of salt, iodized salt. And we're going to flip that over, and we'll get the other side done. All right, got both sides of the meat covered with seasoning. We're going to drop it into the oil pan. I took the oil off this one side first before we drop it in. So we want to braise the beef. I think I'm just going to add it all, just mix it around. All right, so it's in there. And we'll take a spatula, which I had a spatula out here somewhere. Get the crock pot set up. Got the spatula here. I'm going to slide this back over to the hot burner. We'll braise this up a little bit. Get it brown. I'll show you that. Show you it's browned in a second. And that's the next step though. The beef is browned up a little bit. There's some little bit of pink on there, but you don't want to cook it all the way because the crock pot's going to do that. You want the crock pot to work and kind of make the meat tender. So I'm going to turn the oven off and let this sit for a second before I transfer it over to the crock pot. All right, so I've got the beef in the crock pot now, along with the roasted bell pepper strips, and I'm getting ready to add the Campbell's, the vegetable beef stew. You don't have to use Campbell's, you can use whatever you want. Heck, it's just an impromptu kind of a recipe anyway. There's one can. All right, let's see, here's the other can. We'll just dump it all in there. So little dog wants in the house. Anyway, dump that all in there. We'll give it a good stir. And then we'll just put the lid on and let it simmer for, about 4 hours anyway, and take a look at it, probably stir it again. But this is gonna be probably for dinner, maybe for lunch too. I'm gonna go ahead and put this rice in it also. And the rice will help suck up the juices a little bit and get fat. one bag of rice, one bag of yellow rice actually. And of course I just saw it, decided, well, I better just go ahead and add that too. I'm gonna wait on the other can of vegetable beef soup, see if we need it. I don't think I will, but this should turn out to be a very good meal. We'll let you know. I may even stick some Slap Your Mama in it, but we'll just have to see what the flavor is on, in about 4 or 5 hours, because it may be good and spicy enough. All right, so I went with the Campbell's, right? Just 2 cans, and then also about 1 can of water. And over here it is. Well, I can't even talk about that. That's a secret ingredient, but it don't go in the stew. And this is what the soup looks like. It's all done now. Let's give it a little bit of, put it in the bowl. Take a look at it. Maybe I'll just hold off on the bowl. But it looks pretty good. Bon appetit. Finish with a little avocado.